it going so far?
Tough, but good. I'm actually faster than I thought I would be. And yeah, we're nearly at base camp. So yeah, I'm having a break now because unfortunately they're cutting trees in front of us. And yeah, time for recovery and food, and then we carry on.
The Everesting challenge was originally created by an Australian group called the Hells 500. Those crazy Aussies decided that they wanted to ride one hill up and down until they reached the height of Mount Everest, which is 8,848.86 meters since a few days. So we have to take that into account. In the summer, during the first spike of the COVID-19 crisis, this got a lot of attention because a lot of pro athletes that could not race spontaneously decided that they wanted to beat themselves to the record, which is clearly out of range, but let's try it in winter. Maybe that's more fun. The rules are actually quite simple. You just pick a segment on a mountain that goes uphill, and you have to cycle this up and down until you reach the height of Mount Everest, and you will have to do this within 24 hours. And you also, after your last ascent, you will have to descend on yourself again, and then you can hand it into the Hells 500. And you have to be the first person to do this specific segment to be ranked on the website. My training is actually quite similar to what I do in summer. It's just way less time. I usually do everyday training and long intensity, long endurance trainings. At this time, actually, I reduce myself to 3 to 4 hours if I go outside, and in total, I maybe do 3 to 4 exercises per week. And I try to do a bit more high intensity trainings, sweet spot, and some intervals to keep my functional threshold power high enough to base on that in spring. Also, I go for a run sometimes. I will soon switch to ski mountaineering. I do some indoor training that I would usually not do, and also some core strength and stretching. My nutrition plan is to load on carbs as much as I can and give my body all the vitamins and salts that it needs. So I'm fully loaded and I don't have any problems with cramps or bonking, maybe trying to avoid lying on the side of the road dead. So it's all about getting my body ready and fill up everything that it needs for this. During the actual challenge, the nutrition strategy will be classic sports nutrition, while I am using plant-based products by Chimpanzee Nutrition. The bike I'm going to use is going to be a Canyon Grail, which is a gravel bike. This challenge will be on a road segment, but the road is very steep. I am expecting maybe some snow and wet roads, which makes it a bit more difficult if you go on a normal classic road bike, which is very stiff. It has slick tires and everything, so I'll go for more comfort and a comfortable gearing. And yeah, let's see if I can carry this thing up. I plan all of my routes on the platform Komoot. Komoot for me is my go-to platform for planning future adventures or just quickly sketch up a ride that I want to do in the morning or evening. The good thing about it is that you can see the gradients, if it's steep, if it's not, what surface do you ride on, and you can maybe even make up from the type of road or trail that you're using if it will be used a lot or if you will be there quite alone, so you don't run into a lot of traffic or people running on the roads while you try to do something that is not easily achievable. The greatest obstacles in this challenge might be the cold. The cold has numerous effects because you cannot sweat, or you should avoid to sweat as much as you would usually don't care in summer, because the sweat is wettening your clothes, and then your insulation will be less good and you will freeze, and the freezing causes your body to use more energy and you will eventually bonk. Also, in the cold you don't have the urge to drink as much, but you should drink just as much as you would in summer. I guess I'm stoked to get this started. I'll do my best to finish this, even in those conditions. It might be very funny to watch. You will see me suffering a lot, maybe more than usual. And yeah, so let's get this started.
Ich glaube, mal die ersten 3-4 Stunden werden grausig werden. Shoes, alles Mögliche. Welcome to my crib. Loads of food and other shit. Coke and Red Bull in case I bonk, and yeah, plenty of water, bananas, breakfast for later. I have spare batteries, spare lamps, spare clothes. That might be very important. So I have a Gore-Tex windbreaker jacket, some other base layers, and I'm feeling quite good. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. It has around 0 degrees up here, which is warmer than in the city, surprisingly. And now we go up this way to the antenna from Zistelalm, which will be around 2.7 kilometers and 280 meters of climbing per lap. So after 31 laps, or maybe 35 if I feel really brave, we will be done. So let's see how I feel. I'm moving at 9 kilometers per hour, but I'm doing 948 VAM. So barely moving, but at least I'm going up. Once again, cycling is only data. Right pulse and right VAM.
So how is it going so far?
Pretty good. Way ahead time, but also already quite tough.
How many meters here are you in?
Like 4,000.
Sick. Almost halfway done.
Almost halfway. Almost at base camp.
And for how long have you been riding now?
5 hours.
John, what do you think about Max Everesting attempt?
I think it's the most max thing you can do is ride up the hardest mountain in town 31 times. So I'm not surprised when I read that Max was doing it this morning. Most people would be surprised, and I wasn't the slightest surprised. Like, this is, yep, sounds like a normal Wednesday for Max. He seemed a bit out of it just now. I don't know, I seemed a bit tired and kind of hungry. I ride this mountain maybe once a year or twice a year because I just don't like it because it's too steep. So I can't imagine already I think he's at 6,800 meters, I think he had in his computer, something like that, I don't know. He seemed a bit tired and a bit out of it just now, like quite hungry, so I think he's hungry. Yeah, I can't imagine feeling like that at this point. I can barely ride this once, nonetheless, 31 times, so he seems out of it.
Fucking cow.
Jawohl!
1,941 meters. I don't know, the same road again and again. I had my doubts in summer. In winter it was like a real challenge. Not sure if I do that again. You know, if you do 8,000 meters of climbing in a race, because you know it's a long race and shit, that's all okay. But the same mountain again and again, you have to be a special character for this. That was a brutal day. It was really beautiful, perfect sunrise, perfect sunset. Snow but not too cold. Met some nice people up here. Yeah, I guess it's time for a shower, a beer. Did you bring beer? Food and bed. Yeah, that'll be it.
It's done, and I'm quite happy with the time of 12 hours and 48 minutes. What did I learn from this? Actually, I'm very happy with the result, considering it was icy in the morning and cold and, you know, all the obstacles, even cutting trees and having to wait while they put it off the road again. And yeah, so basically my planning was about right. I had a short and steep segment, so my descent was so short that I didn't cool out while getting down. I was still in a good body temperature and didn't freeze while being down. And also my food laid out in the trunk, already prepared. I just stopped by, grabbed the stuff I needed and went off again. I didn't have a lot of stopping time. And last but not least, the jackets. The layering worked perfect, just putting a jacket more or less on to regulate my body heat, everything good. And also what worked quite well was using the indicators for heart rate on the side with the little LEDs on the Wahoo to stay in zone 2 to 3 of my heart rate beats, and then comparing it to the VAM to constantly do the same effort, and whenever one of the values increase or decrease to a level where so like, okay, now my body is not doing so well anymore, I just took a gel or a bar and was super consistent by that. That worked great. I would do it again.